You're gonna stand up and go spill theirs.
This film is unusual in the sense that it's from the first person point of view. Therefore, I am Henry. I am hardcore Henry. So describe to me the setup of the actual actor or actors portraying Henry and where exactly the camera is on them.
Sure. We had a special camera rig designed with magnetic stabilization to make sure the picture is smooth as it can be. And the cameras are pretty much down here. That's the thing. Most people put it here when you shoot like a snowboarding video, put in the helmet, that doesn't work. You put it here, you feel like it's a POV. And
now, when you say it doesn't work up there, why doesn't it? Is it just too high?
No, because it becomes like you're watching from a giant's forehead. That's what it feels. To get the eyes, you have to be a little lower in relationship to the rest of the body. That's how it really reads.
As he looks down.
As he looks down, that's the idea of the immersion. That was a very important part of the movie. So everything that Henry does was done for real. There was CGI help, but every stunt you see, even the crazy stuff, when he throws a grenade, the van explodes, he gets lifted up by the explosion, it lands on the bike. That's practical. There's a guy doing that, the van really does get exploded, really does do the flip, with a little bit of CGI help to remove the wire works and everything, but it was damn real.
Yeah, it felt like a video game or some type of a Twitch live stream. Like, it was extremely immersive. I even got a little bit sick at times. I felt a little bit nauseous from that.
How close were you sitting to the screen?
I was about in the middle. Yeah, not too bad.
Got it.
But I'm prone to nausea anyway.
The further back you go, it really does make a difference, like in the testing. And this is one of the many things with the film, you know, you're pushing the envelope on what the audience can withstand, on what the audience want to experience. It's kind of like when music videos came out and started cutting at this incredible pace, and people are watching and going like, wow, are we able to sort of handle this?
Yeah.
Can our brains process it? And so that was one of the many challenges with the film, you know, and one of the things we found, like if you are prone to motion sickness, if you sat right in the back, you know, depending on the size of the screen as well, it has a very big impact. The further back you go, the safer you are.
Yeah. So how many Henrys were there?
About a dozen. There was two main ones. I was the third guy who kind of did some of the dialogue scenes with Sharlto and a little bit of a shooting because I wanted to indulge myself. And then the other 10 were guys for like specific stunts. Like the horse guy would shoot with the horse. The guy who gets flown out of the helicopter, kicked out of the helicopter, they'd be the guy who was base jumper. The guy who's set on fire would be a guy whose job it is to get set on fire.
Yeah.
So you got to go very specific.
They all had their specialties.
Yeah.
It's quite something acting opposite too. Like when it's the director, sometimes, you know, he's got these two lenses here and he's watching like this, but he's also watching you. And then sometimes he's kind of your co-star and he's acting with you and interacting. And then suddenly he's directing you again and kind of judging what you're doing. And then he's back with you. It's a strange acting experience.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because what are you feeding off of, you know?
Yeah, you pretty much, you know, normally you would have nothing or you'd have an actor. This is some sort of weird hybrid. So eventually I would just sort of mostly try and shut it out and just connect straight in with the audience into the camera.
Yeah.
What was interesting to me, jumping on board right in the beginning, was that you know, it was making something that is a cross between a movie and a roller coaster ride and a video game. And we were saying this morning,
and
if you
now
go
when
with
we
your
see it with your friends, it becomes a rock concert because you're saying that
concert.
people cheer,
You
it
know,
feed off each other's energy.
Yeah.
It's a very special experience.
You know, trying to give, for me, predominantly a new generation, a new generational audience, something that was more reflective of their pop culture, of what they've grown up with.
It looked like it was done in one continuous shot, and it reminded me slightly of a Jason Bourne movie where the action just begins from this rooftop and doesn't end till he's down the street, on the motorcycle, over the bridge, all in one shot. Now, you couldn't possibly have filmed it in one shot, so how did you edit it so that it looked like it was one shot?
We block it out, like the whole sequence, like a long sequence, and then we'd see where we can divide it, and then usually we'd shoot a long sequence, and then when we started editing, we'd start putting pieces together from take 3 would go really nice in this little shot right here before he turns around. And then pretty much it's lots of long takes intercut to make the best, juiciest shots that we can possibly have.
Now, 3 years I've been waiting for this moment. I get Charlie Chaplin.